Intro Marilyn Chambers, an iconic name that sparks intrigue, admiration, and debate. From her idyllic childhood in Connecticut to becoming a cultural trailblazer in adult cinema, her life was anything but ordinary. But beyond the spotlight and controversy, Marilyn's story is one of resilience, ambition, and the pursuit of self-expression. Today, let's dive into the remarkable journey of this enigmatic star, her humble beginnings, the scandalous career that redefined her, and the lasting legacy she left behind. Childhood and family. Marilyn Chambers, born Marilyn Ann Taylor on April 22, 1952 in Providence, Rhode Island, spent her formative years in the affluent community of Westport, Connecticut. Although many biographies mistakenly list Westport as her birthplace, Marilyn clarified in a 2007 interview that she was actually born in Providence. Her family relocated to Westport when she was young, and it was there that she grew up in a comfortable middle-class environment that shaped much of her early personality and ambitions. Her father worked in advertising, a profession that demanded creativity and precision, and her mother was a nurse, a role that required compassion and resilience. Together, they provided a stable household for their 3 children. Marilyn was the youngest of the family, with an older brother, Bill Briggs, and an older sister, Jan Smith. As the youngest sibling, Marilyn often found herself at the center of her family's attention. Yet this came with a certain level of expectation. Her siblings, Bill and Jan, were both role models and companions, helping her navigate the challenges of childhood while also fostering her natural curiosity and drive. Growing up in Westport, a town known for its strong emphasis on arts and education, Marilyn had access to opportunities that nurtured her budding creativity. She attended several schools in the area, including Burr Farms Elementary School, Hills Point Elementary School, Long Lots Junior High School, and eventually Staples High School. Her time at Staples High was particularly significant, as it was during these years that she began to explore her interest in performance and self-expression. Whether through school activities, local events, or her own personal endeavors, Marilyn displayed an early passion for pursuing her dreams. However, the dynamics within her family also played a crucial role in shaping her trajectory. While her mother supported her ambitions, her father took a more pragmatic view of her aspirations. He was skeptical of her desire to pursue a career in modeling, warning her about the fierce competition and unpredictable nature of the industry. This skepticism wasn't born out of a lack of love, but rather a desire to protect his youngest child from potential disappointment. Despite his concerns, Marilyn remained undeterred. Her independent spirit and determination to carve out her own path were evident even at a young age. As the youngest child in a traditional yet open-minded household, Marilyn enjoyed a balance of structure and freedom. Her family provided a foundation of stability, but they also allowed her the space to explore her individuality. This duality, the security of a supportive home, and the autonomy to dream big, gave Marilyn the confidence to take risks. Whether it was excelling in school, testing the waters in modeling, or imagining a future in the spotlight, she approached her early years with an eagerness to push boundaries and discover her potential. Marilyn's childhood was also deeply intertwined with the social and cultural environment of Westport during the 1950s and 1960s. The town's artistic vibe, coupled with its proximity to New York City, exposed her to a world of creative possibilities. It was a place where young people were encouraged to think beyond conventional paths and embrace the arts, something that Marilyn absorbed wholeheartedly. Her natural beauty and vibrant personality made her stand out, and it wasn't long before she began to entertain thoughts of a future that extended far beyond the quiet streets of her hometown. Family dinners, sibling rivalries, and long conversations with her parents all played a role in shaping Marilyn's identity. While her father's doubts about the modeling industry might have planted seeds of caution, they also fueled her desire to prove herself. Her mother's nurturing presence, on the other hand, provided her with the emotional foundation to weather challenges. Marilyn's brother and sister offered her a mix of support and camaraderie, helping her develop the interpersonal skills and resilience she would later rely on in her adult life. Marilyn's early years laid the groundwork for her eventual career and personal struggles. The mix of a loving, supportive family and her own innate determination created a personality that was both ambitious and resourceful. Though her journey would take her far from the comfort of Westport, the lessons she learned in her childhood home about hard work, independence, and staying true to oneself would remain with her throughout her life. Career Marilyn Chambers began her professional journey early, dipping her toes into modeling while still in high school. Her fresh-faced beauty and natural charisma quickly set her apart, and she managed to land her first small acting role in the 1970 romantic comedy The Owl and the Pussycat, starring Barbra Streisand and George Segal. Although her role was minor, it offered her a glimpse into the film industry and ignited her passion for performing. One of her earliest claims to fame came in an unexpected way. She became the Ivory Snow Girl, appearing on the packaging of Ivory Snow detergent. Her wholesome image as a symbol of purity, cradling a baby in her arms, was prominently featured on the box. However, this seemingly innocent modeling job would later lead to a scandal when her career took a dramatic turn into the adult film industry. In 1972, Marilyn starred in the groundbreaking adult film Behind the Green Door, produced by the Mitchell brothers. The film, considered one of the first major adult films to gain mainstream attention, was revolutionary for its time and catapulted Marilyn to fame. It was a bold, controversial move that not only made her a household name in the adult entertainment world, but also caused public shock due to her simultaneous association with Ivory Snow. The contrast between her wholesome Ivory Snow Girl image and her role in an explicit adult film became a significant cultural talking point, inadvertently boosting the film's popularity. Behind the Green Door was a critical and commercial success, grossing millions and cementing Marilyn's place as one of the most recognizable figures in adult cinema. However, this newfound fame came with its challenges. While the film established her as a star, it also made it difficult for her to transition into mainstream Hollywood. The stigma associated with her work in adult films created barriers, preventing her from being cast in traditional film and television roles. Despite these obstacles, Marilyn remained determined to expand her career beyond adult entertainment. Behind the Green Door was not just another film in the adult entertainment industry, it was a groundbreaking piece of cinema that redefined how adult films were perceived in the 1970s. Released in 1972 and produced by the Mitchell brothers, the film stood out for its ambitious narrative style, artistic cinematography, and bold experimentation. Marilyn Chambers, cast as the lead, became the face of this cultural milestone, catapulting her into an unprecedented level of fame within the adult entertainment world. For Marilyn, Behind the Green Door was both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, the film's success was monumental. It was one of the first adult films to achieve widespread mainstream attention, grossing millions of dollars at the box office. Its unique approach, focusing on aesthetics and storytelling rather than just explicit content, appealed to audiences beyond the typical demographic of adult cinema. Marilyn's natural beauty and on-screen presence helped humanize a genre often dismissed as exploitative. Her performance was mesmerizing, blending vulnerability, sensuality, and confidence, qualities that resonated with viewers and critics alike. The film's plot, revolving around a woman's initiation into a mysterious sexual ritual, was provocative yet innovative. Marilyn's character doesn't speak a single word throughout the entire movie, relying solely on her expressions and body language to convey a range of emotions. This silent performance added a layer of intrigue to her role and highlighted her ability to captivate audiences without dialogue, a rare feat for any actor, let alone in an adult film. While Behind the Green Door solidified Marilyn's place as an icon in the adult entertainment industry, it also became an albatross around her neck. The film's overwhelming success created a public image that Marilyn struggled to escape. Although she was proud of her work and the artistic merit of the film, it branded her as a porn star in the eyes of the public, and more critically, Hollywood. The timing of the film's release coincided with the porno chic movement of the 1970s, when adult films like Deep Throat and The Devil and Miss Jones gained unexpected mainstream popularity. For a brief moment, it seemed as though adult cinema might break into the cultural mainstream, and Marilyn believed she could use her newfound fame as a stepping stone into traditional Hollywood. However, the stigma surrounding adult films remained deeply ingrained. Producers, directors, and casting agents were unwilling to take the risk of associating with someone so publicly tied to the adult industry, regardless of her talent or potential. Marilyn faced rejection after rejection, with many in Hollywood unable or unwilling to see her as anything beyond the persona she portrayed in Behind the Green Door. Throughout the 1970s, Marilyn explored various avenues in the entertainment industry. She took on theater roles, including starring in The Mind with the Dirty Man, a Las Vegas dinner theater production that allowed her to showcase her acting talents in a live setting. Her versatility extended into music as well. In 1976, she released the disco single Benihana, a lively track that reflected the era's vibrant music scene. Later, she performed with a country and western band called Haywire, demonstrating her willingness to experiment with different genres and mediums. In addition to her work in film, theater, and music, Marilyn made notable appearances in independent films. These projects allowed her to flex her creative muscles and take on roles that were often more nuanced than her work in adult cinema. Her later film credits included appearances in productions that mixed elements of horror, drama, and comedy, showcasing her range as a performer. In an unexpected turn late in her career, Marilyn Chambers ventured into the world of politics, marking yet another bold chapter in her multifaceted life. Best known as a cultural icon of the adult entertainment industry, Marilyn surprised the public when she announced her candidacy for Vice President of the United States in the 2004 and 2008 presidential elections. Running as a candidate for the Personal Choice Party, Marilyn used her platform to advocate for principles she held dear: individual liberties, freedom of expression, and personal autonomy. The Personal Choice Party, founded in 2000, positioned itself as a minor political party in the United States with libertarian-leaning ideals. The party sought to minimize government interference in personal and private matters, emphasizing the importance of individual freedoms. It appealed to those disillusioned by mainstream political parties and their often rigid platforms. Marilyn's candidacy fit well within the party's ethos, as her own life and career had consistently challenged societal norms and restrictions. Marilyn's platform revolved around themes that resonated with her personal experiences. She openly spoke about the importance of protecting freedom of expression, a topic she was intimately familiar with, given her background in the adult entertainment industry, which often faced heavy scrutiny and censorship. She also highlighted the need for personal autonomy, advocating for people's right to make decisions about their own lives without excessive government regulation. Marilyn's candidacy was unconventional in every sense. With her fame stemming primarily from her work in adult films, she faced skepticism and ridicule from critics who questioned her seriousness as a political figure. However, Marilyn used her controversial background to her advantage, framing her candidacy as a statement against the hypocrisy and elitism of the political establishment. She argued that her life experiences gave her a unique perspective on the issues of freedom, equality, and individual rights. Her campaigns were deliberately designed to stand out. Instead of relying on traditional political rhetoric, Marilyn focused on engaging directly with voters, often at events and gatherings that celebrated freedom of speech and expression. Her charm, wit, and unapologetic honesty won her a small but loyal following of supporters who admired her courage in taking on a traditionally conservative political system. Marilyn also used humor and self-awareness as tools to disarm critics. In interviews, she often acknowledged the irony of someone with her background entering politics, but she argued that her unconventional path gave her credibility when speaking about issues like personal choice and liberty. "I know what it's like to be judged, to be labeled, to have people try to take away your voice," she said during one campaign stop. "I think a lot of Americans feel the same way, and I want to fight for them." Despite her enthusiasm and commitment to her campaign, Marilyn faced significant challenges in gaining traction within the broader political landscape. The media frequently sensationalized her candidacy, focusing more on her past as an adult film star than on her policy positions. Mainstream political commentators often dismissed her as a publicity stunt, failing to take her advocacy seriously. Despite her fame, Marilyn never entirely escaped the shadow of her early work in the adult film industry. While it limited her opportunities in some respects, it also defined her legacy as a cultural icon. Her role in Behind the Green Door marked a significant moment in the intersection of adult entertainment and mainstream culture, paving the way for discussions about the acceptance of explicit content in media. In the later years of her career, Marilyn embraced her status as a trailblazer. She made public appearances at conventions and film festivals, connecting with fans who appreciated her contributions to cinema and her unapologetic approach to her career choices. She often reflected on her journey with a mix of pride and realism, acknowledging both the opportunities and the challenges that came with her unique path. Scandal. Marilyn Chambers' career was undeniably groundbreaking, but it was also deeply entangled with controversy. Her decision to transition from a wholesome modeling career into the adult film industry sparked widespread public debate and cemented her status as a polarizing figure. Throughout her life, Marilyn faced numerous scandals that shaped her public image, strained her relationships within the industry, and ultimately defined much of her legacy. One of the earliest and most infamous scandals in Marilyn's career revolved around her association with the Ivory Snow detergent brand. As a fresh-faced young model, she had posed for the detergent box, holding a baby in her arms, and embodying the image of purity and wholesomeness. This Ivory Snow girl image became a household symbol of trust and family values. When news broke that Marilyn was the star of Behind the Green Door, an explicit adult film that had achieved mainstream popularity, the contrast between her wholesome image and her new career shocked the public. Conservative groups expressed outrage, and the media sensationalized the story, dubbing her 99 and 44 100th% impure, a play on Ivory Snow's famous slogan about its product's purity. The controversy made Marilyn a household name, but it also deeply affected her personal life and career trajectory, setting the tone for the stigma she would face in the years to come. Marilyn's professional relationship with the Mitchell brothers, who produced Behind the Green Door, was pivotal in launching her career. However, their partnership was fraught with tension. As Marilyn's fame grew, so did her desire to take more control over her career. She became frustrated with the Mitchell brothers' management style and their refusal to allow her to branch out beyond the adult film industry. In the late 1970s, Marilyn left the Mitchell brothers to work with Chuck Traynor, the controversial former husband and manager of adult film star Linda Lovelace. Traynor's reputation for being controlling and exploitative raised eyebrows, and Marilyn's decision to partner with him drew criticism from her former collaborators. The fallout with the Mitchell brothers led to a bitter feud, including legal battles over royalties and the unauthorized release of a documentary about her life, which Marilyn claimed was exploitative and inaccurate. Marilyn's decision to work with Chuck Traynor marked a tumultuous chapter in her life. Traynor, who had a history of abusive behavior as detailed by Linda Lovelace in her autobiography, took over Marilyn's career management during a vulnerable period. Under Traynor's guidance, Marilyn appeared in several lower-budget adult films and live performances, but many believe that Traynor exploited her fame for his financial gain. Their partnership attracted significant negative attention, particularly within the adult entertainment industry. Many viewed Marilyn's association with Traynor as a step backward in her career, and it strained her relationships with former colleagues. Over time, Marilyn distanced herself from Traynor, but the damage to her reputation lingered. One of the most publicized scandals involving Marilyn was the release of an unauthorized documentary about her life. Produced by the Mitchell brothers, the film portrayed intimate details of her career and personal struggles without her consent. Marilyn was reportedly furious about the documentary, accusing the Mitchell brothers of exploiting her story for profit and misrepresenting her life. The controversy reignited tensions between Marilyn and her former collaborators, further complicating her efforts to reshape her public image. The documentary highlighted the broader challenges Marilyn faced as she tried to navigate the complexities of fame in the adult film industry. While it brought renewed attention to her career, it also reinforced the stigma she had long sought to escape: trailblazer and a victim of societal judgment. In the 1980s, Marilyn began performing in live shows, including striptease acts and nightclub appearances. While these performances allowed her to connect with fans and maintain her career, they also drew criticism from those who believed she was further commodifying her fame. Some of these performances were described as provocative and theatrical, often sparking debates about their artistic value versus their sensationalism. The live performances also led to legal troubles, as some venues faced accusations of violating obscenity laws. Marilyn's involvement in these cases brought her back into the media spotlight, further fueling the perception of her as a controversial figure. In her later years, Marilyn spoke candidly about the scandals that had defined her career. She expressed both pride and frustration, acknowledging that while her work had opened doors for discussions about sexuality and freedom of expression, it had also subjected her to harsh judgment and exploitation. Marriage, Marilyn Chambers' personal life, much like her career, was filled with highs and lows. Over the years, she married 3 times, each relationship reflecting a different chapter in her life. Her marriages were marked by passion, conflict, and personal growth, ultimately shaping her journey as both a public figure and a private individual. Marilyn's first marriage was to Doug Chapin, a fellow actor and musician, in 1971. This relationship coincided with the early years of her career, a time when she was transitioning from modeling and small acting roles to becoming a star in adult films. Doug and Marilyn were both young and ambitious, navigating the uncertainties of their respective careers while trying to maintain a stable partnership. Their marriage, however, was short-lived. The pressures of Marilyn's rising fame, particularly after her breakout role in Behind the Green Door, placed an immense strain on their relationship. Doug reportedly struggled with the attention and controversy surrounding Marilyn's career in the adult entertainment industry. By 1974, the couple decided to part ways, ending their marriage after just 3 years. While their divorce was amicable, it marked the beginning of Marilyn's complicated journey in balancing her personal life with her professional ambitions. Marilyn's second marriage was to Chuck Traynor, a figure who was both influential and controversial in her life. Traynor was a businessman and manager who had previously been married to Linda Lovelace, the star of the adult film Deep Throat. His relationship with Lovelace had been publicly condemned due to allegations of abuse and exploitation, casting a shadow over his reputation even before he and Marilyn became involved. The marriage between Marilyn and Chuck began in 1975, during a period when Marilyn was seeking greater control over her career. Traynor took on the role of her manager, guiding her professional decisions and helping her secure new opportunities in the adult entertainment industry. Under his management, Marilyn appeared in several films and live performances, further solidifying her status as a star. However, their relationship was fraught with challenges. Traynor's controlling tendencies, which had been widely criticized during his marriage to Lovelace, reportedly resurfaced during his time with Marilyn. Friends and colleagues expressed concerns about the dynamics of their relationship, describing Traynor as domineering and exploitative. Despite these challenges, Marilyn remained with Traynor for a decade, a period that saw both the peak of her career and some of its most turbulent moments. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1985. Reflecting on her time with Traynor, Marilyn later acknowledged the complexities of their relationship, noting that while he played a significant role in her career, their personal dynamic was far from ideal. The end of their marriage marked a turning point for Marilyn as she sought to reclaim her independence and redefine her life on her own terms. Marilyn's third and final marriage was to William Taylor Jr., a truck driver she married in 1991. By this time, Marilyn was stepping away from the spotlight, focusing more on her personal life and exploring new avenues outside of the entertainment industry. This relationship brought a sense of stability and normalcy to Marilyn's life, something she had long craved after years of navigating fame and controversy. In 1992, the couple welcomed their daughter, McKenna Marie Taylor, a moment that Marilyn described as one of the happiest of her life. Becoming a mother brought her immense joy, and she embraced the role with dedication and love. Marilyn often spoke about how motherhood gave her a new perspective on life, allowing her to focus on what truly mattered. Unfortunately, her marriage to William Taylor Jr. was short-lived. The couple divorced in 1994, just 3 years after tying the knot. While the reasons for their separation remained private, it was clear that Marilyn's commitment to raising her daughter became her top priority following the divorce. After the end of her third marriage, Marilyn chose not to remarry. Instead, she focused on being a devoted mother to McKenna and navigating life outside of the entertainment industry. In interviews, she often reflected on her experiences with love and relationships, acknowledging the difficulties she faced in balancing her personal and professional lives. Other relationships. Marilyn Chambers, best known for her work in the adult film industry, also had a series of significant relationships and encounters with influential figures in Hollywood and beyond. These relationships, whether personal, professional, or casual, often reflected her persistent efforts to transition into mainstream entertainment. While some of these connections were marked by mutual respect, others were complicated by the stigma surrounding her background in adult cinema. One of Marilyn's most notable encounters in Hollywood was with legendary actor Jack Nicholson and musician Art Garfunkel in the late 1970s. During this time, Marilyn was actively seeking roles in mainstream films, hoping to break free from the confines of her adult film image. The meeting was reportedly arranged to discuss her potential involvement in Nicholson's Western comedy Goin' South, 1978. However, what should have been a professional conversation quickly devolved into an uncomfortable situation. According to Marilyn, both Nicholson and Garfunkel seemed more interested in her reputation as an adult film star than in her acting talent. They questioned her about the authenticity of her performances in Behind the Green Door and even asked if she had any cocaine with her. Feeling humiliated and disrespected, Marilyn abruptly left the meeting. The incident highlighted the challenges she faced in being taken seriously by Hollywood's elite, who often reduced her to her adult film persona rather than recognizing her as a legitimate actress. While the meeting did not lead to any professional opportunities, it underscored Marilyn's frustration with the entertainment industry's double standards. Marilyn's professional relationship with Jim and Artie Mitchell, the producers of Behind the Green Door, was pivotal to her career. The Mitchell brothers were known for their innovative approach to adult filmmaking, and they played a significant role in transforming Marilyn into one of the most recognizable figures in the industry. Initially, Marilyn shared a close and mutually beneficial relationship with the Mitchells. She admired their artistic vision and credited them with helping her achieve fame. However, their friendship began to deteriorate over time, particularly after Marilyn decided to leave their management in the late 1970s. The fallout was marked by bitterness and legal disputes. The Mitchell brothers accused Marilyn of abandoning the partnership that had launched her career, while Marilyn felt that they were exploiting her success without allowing her the freedom to grow. The release of an unauthorized documentary about her life by the Mitchells only deepened the rift, with Marilyn publicly condemning the film as a violation of her privacy. Despite their falling out, the Mitchell brothers remained an integral part of her story, representing both the opportunities and challenges of her career. Through her second husband, Chuck Traynor, Marilyn had an indirect connection to Linda Lovelace, the star of Deep Throat. Traynor had previously been married to Lovelace and managed her career during the peak of her fame. Their relationship, however, was fraught with allegations of abuse and manipulation, as detailed in Lovelace's autobiography. Marilyn was aware of Traynor's controversial past when she married him, but their relationship was markedly different from his earlier marriage. While Traynor managed Marilyn's career during their decade-long marriage, she maintained a level of independence that Lovelace reportedly lacked. Nonetheless, Traynor's reputation as a controlling and exploitative figure cast a shadow over Marilyn's career during their time together. Marilyn rarely spoke publicly about her connection to Lovelace, but the parallels between their careers, both as stars of groundbreaking adult films, inevitably linked their legacies. Throughout her career, Marilyn formed connections with various directors, producers, and performers in both the adult and mainstream entertainment industries. These relationships often reflected her dual status as both a celebrated figure in adult cinema and an outsider in Hollywood. For instance, Marilyn was once considered for a role in Paul Schrader's Hardcore, 1979, a film about the dark underbelly of the adult entertainment industry. However, Schrader ultimately decided against casting her, reportedly deeming her too wholesome for the role of a jaded porn star. While the rejection was another setback, it demonstrated the complexities of Marilyn's image, simultaneously associated with explicit films, yet perceived as not fitting certain stereotypes. Marilyn also maintained a connection with the Las Vegas entertainment scene. She appeared in live performances and dinner theater productions, which allowed her to network with a wide range of performers and entertainers. Her involvement in this circuit further highlighted her versatility and determination to keep pursuing opportunities despite the limitations imposed by her adult film background. Outside of the professional sphere, Marilyn developed personal relationships with individuals who supported her during challenging times. Many of her close friends admired her resilience and ability to navigate a world that often judged her harshly. Marilyn was known for her warm personality and sense of humor, qualities that endeared her to those who knew her personally. She was also deeply devoted to her daughter, McKenna Marie Taylor, born during her third marriage to William Taylor Jr. Marilyn often described motherhood as one of the most fulfilling aspects of her life. Her relationship with McKenna provided her with a sense of purpose and grounded her during her later years, when she largely stepped away from the public eye. Death Marilyn Chambers, one of the most iconic figures in the adult entertainment industry and a cultural trailblazer, passed away on April 12, 2009. Her death at the age of 56 was both sudden and heartbreaking, leaving behind a legacy that continues to spark discussions about freedom of expression, societal judgment, and resilience. On the evening of April 12th, Marilyn was discovered unresponsive in her home near Santa Clarita, California, by her 17-year-old daughter, McKenna Marie Taylor. The discovery was a devastating moment for McKenna, who had shared a close and loving bond with her mother. Marilyn had largely stepped away from public life in her later years, focusing instead on her family and private endeavors, making the suddenness of her passing all the more shocking. An autopsy conducted by the Los Angeles County coroner revealed that Marilyn had died of a cerebral hemorrhage and an aneurysm related to heart disease. According to the report, her death was natural and not the result of external factors such as substance abuse or foul play, which had often been speculated given her tumultuous past. Marilyn's passing came just 10 days before what would have been her 57th birthday. The news of her death sent ripples through both the adult entertainment industry and the wider entertainment world, with many expressing their condolences and reflecting on the impact she had on popular culture. Though Marilyn's death was attributed to natural causes, it brought attention to the underlying health issues she had faced in the years leading up to her passing. Heart disease, which was cited as a contributing factor, is often associated with lifestyle, genetics, and stress, all of which were elements in Marilyn's life. In interviews during the final years of her life, Marilyn rarely spoke about her health, focusing instead on her personal projects and her role as a mother. However, friends and colleagues noted that she had faced significant stress over the years, stemming from her career's controversies, her financial struggles, and the challenges of raising a daughter as a single mother. By the time of her death, Marilyn had largely retreated from the spotlight. Following her departure from the adult entertainment industry, she sought to reinvent herself, taking on various roles in independent films, theater, and even politics. However, in her later years, her primary focus was on raising her daughter, McKenna. Friends and neighbors described Marilyn as a devoted mother who cherished her time with her daughter. She had settled into a quieter life, far removed from the glitz and controversy that had defined much of her career. Despite the challenges she faced, Marilyn remained optimistic and resilient, traits that those close to her admired deeply. The news of Marilyn's death prompted an outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and admirers around the world. Many remembered her as a trailblazer who broke barriers and challenged societal norms, Others reflected on her warm personality, describing her as kind, down to earth, and fiercely protective of her loved ones. Her passing also sparked renewed discussions about her legacy. While much of the public remembered her for her role in Behind the Green Door, others highlighted her efforts to transition into mainstream entertainment, her ventures into politics, and her advocacy for freedom of expression. The adult entertainment industry in particular mourned the loss of one of its most recognizable figures. Marilyn's contributions to the industry had helped to legitimize adult films as a form of artistic and cultural expression during the porno chic era of the 1970s. Her willingness to embrace controversy and challenge societal taboos left an indelible mark on the industry and its place in popular culture. Outro Marilyn Chambers, an iconic name that sparks intrigue, admiration, and debate. From her idyllic childhood in Connecticut to becoming a cultural trailblazer in adult cinema, her life was anything but ordinary. But beyond the spotlight and controversy, Marilyn's story is one of resilience, ambition, and the pursuit of self-expression. Today, let's dive into the remarkable journey of this enigmatic star, her humble beginnings, the scandalous career that redefined her, and the lasting legacy she left behind.